so he does check back and then like shoves over and over bet. So I do like that. It's like he gets a solid 9.34 from me.
9.34. Wow. 10k no limits. Make boyfriend makes it 300, and Stefan makes it 900, which is a
No, Stefan folds, and that's the video.
yeah. That wouldn't be so
Okay.
exciting, right? Yeah, that would be a sick highlight video on YouTube.
Yeah.
How to
Okay.
win $100 in 2 seconds. So
Yeah.
Stefan makes it 900, and Stefan likes to raise. He's a raiser. He's not a folder. He's not a caller. He's a raiser. So Stefan 3 bets
Yeah.
and make boyfriend. Make boyfriend plays very slowly, but eventually does make the call.
Oh yeah, you're a bit ahead, a few seconds ahead because I'm watching the stream. Oh,
Yeah.
that's why.
Alright.
Okay.
So we get the Jack 6, which is a good board for Stefan in the sense that the 6 isn't that relevant, right? Maybe boyfriend might have like 6-7 or 6s, but not many other 6s. Maybe A6. And then they both flop a decent amount of trips, but there's no flush draw out there. There's no straight draw out there. Nothing really happens on this board. So Stefan can continue to bet pretty aggressively here, don't you think?
Yep. Yeah, definitely a pretty good board for Stefan. Not amazing, but pretty good for sure.
Yeah. Well, make boyfriend might be calling hands as weak as like Jack 8 suited, right? Maybe even
Yeah.
like Jack 7 suited, so he will have a decent amount of trips. If
Yeah,
this
you
were
could argue he has maybe an advantage even in terms of trips. If he calls hands like King Jack off, that Stefan doesn't 3-bet there, bottomless blind. So it's but definitely a good board to see bet high frequency.
Yeah. So if this were like Ace A6, it would be way different, right? So make boyfriend
Yeah.
can also have some overcards. So yeah, it's not an incredible board for Stefan, but it's definitely still a good one. So
Yeah.
we can expect a small bet, and he makes one.
Yeah, it's good that you narrate it, so I know what will happen. I see it a few seconds later. Okay, so check raise key.
Yeah. So make boyfriend raises, and he raises like 3x, which makes sense, right? I mean, if he's raising a jack, there's almost no run out on which his hand sucks, so you don't have to go crazy, right? Whereas if the board is much more draw heavy, maybe you want to charge him a little more.
I like it. Yeah.
And Stefan makes the call. So Stefan can be calling with a lot of pairs. Some hands like Ace King, maybe floats with a hand like 10-9 suited or 8-7 or Queen 10. Yep.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, like it is a board where make boyfriend can attack quite a bit with his range, so he does have a lot of trips. Okay.
Yeah. And you can expect make boyfriend to bet a decent amount on this turn. If he check raise pocket 8s, he gets there.
Yep.
He'll have some hands like Queen 10, 10-9 that now improve to an open ender or a gut shot. So maybe a hand like Queen 9. Maybe he has a hand like 8-7 that still merge bets the turn. So he's going to be betting a pretty wide range here. And Stefan is probably looking to call still with most pairs and, fold some hands like Ace Queen, for instance.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, definitely a turn that improves a lot of his backdoor equities anyway, like this 8. So definitely worth makes sense for a high frequency bet here. Okay, the call. Boom! Wow.
So 10-9 suited does get there, which may be in make boyfriend's range. He may be bluffing with hands like Queen 9, Queen 10. Maybe he has some kind of crazy 6-7. That would be pretty interesting. Shove Stefan off the pocket 10s, but get him to call with Ace King.
Yeah, obviously.
That would be pretty ambitious. So he shoves around 5.2k in the 8k. Stefan is never folding a jack, I would say, and he's in a tough spot with a non-jack, right? So if he's a hand like 9s or 10s or queens or kings, he's in a pretty tough spot because maybe boyfriend can easily have a jack. He could have 6s. He can can backdoor a 10-9 or even
exactly. Yeah. I mean this run out, like it's pretty good. It's a pretty sick run out for make boyfriend, right? Like it's pretty hard. Like he can have plenty of value hands here that he can like shove with, and it's not that easy to find enough bluffs. So I would be surprised here if, I mean, it's Stefan, whatever, but it's kind of hard to call with less than a jack. Yeah, for sure.
I assume that Stefan is going to call with something less than a jack sometimes, right? Unless he thinks that make boyfriend just isn't capable of pulling off any bluffs. Let's see. For our job is easy because we can see the cards.
I can't see the cards, but yeah, let's see.
Ooh.
Queen 10, King Jack. Okay. I mean, yeah, like I think it's pretty standard, right? Like it's one of his very few bluffs here for make boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he check raised queen 10. I mean, you have an open ender. Sorry, you have an overcut and a backdoor straight draw. He doesn't have the backdoor flush draw, so that does make his hand a little bit worse. But, he's probably check raising this at some frequency. And on the turn, he's thinking, well, I have a gut shot now. Some of my backdoors get there. And on the river, he thinks, well, he blocks some hands like Jack 10 suited. He blocks 10-9. And he has queen high, right? So queen 10, queen 9, those are going to be his main bluffs. If he has a hand like a 7 somehow, like 9-7 maybe, I don't think he turns that into a bluff, just hoping to show down
Uh-huh.
ace high or a 6. And
Mm-hmm.
I think in Stapleton's spot, it's just, his hand was very well played, but it's pretty easy, right? King Jack
Yeah.
suited is far ahead of May Boyfriend's opening range, so he gets a 3-bet, he gets a c-bet a wide range, call the check raise, and then just call down. So
Yeah.
pretty standard play by Stefan. May Boyfriend's
Yeah.
play is pretty aggressive, but on a run out like this, you see you need to have a couple of bluffs, right? Otherwise, why would Stefan ever consider calling with a hand like, let's say, queens or tens?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean it's kind of straightforward. It's like it's one of his few bluffs here, right? For like make boyfriend. So I think it's a fine play by him as well. And yeah, like he has a jack, Stefan. So yeah, pretty straightforward.
All right, so I'll give Stefan a 9 out of 10. I'll give Make Boyfriend. I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. What do you think?
Why 7.5?
Because he lost.
Okay, that's how we rate things around here.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you cannot really rate. Okay, I guess if you want to play this game, I guess yeah, like Stefan gets yeah, a 9 out of 10 because he did not do anything amazing, but then he played like pretty standard, so like 9. And make boyfriend, yeah, I would give him like solid 8. Again, nothing too amazing. I would be impressed here if I see some crazy bluff that I think, oh, sick, but actually this makes a lot of sense. But this is a kind of standard bluff. If it shows like
King Queen or something.
I think if he shows, yeah, maybe something like
King 10.
maybe King Queen. Yeah, like maybe like something that blocks a lot of his jacks, like something like with an ace that blocks a lot of ace jacks. I don't know, like from Stefan's call down range. Maybe some kind of like creative like ace 9 or something, but that blocks ace jack or. But so yeah, I would say like 8 yeah, 7.5 because he lost. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in charge of the stream, guys. We get to rate these hands.
Freestyle rating, yeah.
May Boyfriend makes it 125 in the button. And Grind Forever folds.
Okay, good. No short stack hand. Okay. Going with the call.
So Queen 6-4, Rainbow's a pretty dry board where 4-6-4 will have more than 4s and 6s, right? I mean, his name even alludes to it.
4-6-4. I mean, come on.
Yeah, this is his board. He has to check his board.
Exactly.
But versus regular players, this is actually a pretty good board for Make Boyfriend in a sense that it's just pretty dry, right? So the raiser is always ahead of the caller. So unless the caller significantly improves on mostly cards like 5 through 9. Unless there's a lot of those cards on board, usually connected, it's not that great for out of position. So in position can just continue to be aggressive. So you can bet your full range really small here. You can mix it up. You can do a lot of different things here. You could even be Stefan and just bet like 350 on the flop. You can mess around on this flop for sure. But the standard play is to bet pretty small. Bet small he does not.
Yeah, that. Okay. Big bet. Boom. No respect.
So Make Boyfriend bets a bit bigger, so he's probably saying he has checkbacks as well, and he's just betting this board. Let's say maybe like 2/3 of the time. And then 4-6-4 is saying, well, I got 4 6s or 6-4. He can have Queen 6, Queen 4. He can have straight draws like 5-3, 7-5, 8-5. Maybe he's still check raising hands like King Queen for thin value, so he can still check raise his board pretty aggressively despite the bigger size. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's definitely interesting how a different c-bet size, a bigger c-bet size, changes someone's c-bet strategy. I would guess most people, maybe it happens less at high stakes, but I would guess most people check raise actually definitely less against like a bigger sizing like this. So I think everyone is used to like check raise high frequency here against 1/3 range, like kind of like a 1/3 sizing. But once they see like a bigger sizing, okay, like now it's not that tempting to like raise. Like, am I even raising this like backdoor hands? I don't know. So I think most people would be actually a bit stronger when they check raise here against yeah, I guess like bigger sizing. So that's definitely interesting spot.
Well, it makes sense that 464 is a bit more cautious, right? Because Make Boyfriend's saying he doesn't just have full range, but he's likely just got a stronger hand and some bluffs.
Yeah. Yeah, curious to see how this plays out.
Boyfriend calls.
Yes.
And 464 checks, so he's basically saying I turn to 10 with, let's say, hand like, 10-7 suited or whatever, Jack 10, King 10, and he wants to check. Maybe he's got a hand like a Queen that he now wants to check. Or he could even be double check raising, right? I mean, it would be pretty sweet if he did check raise the 6-4. Although it's a bit awkward because with so much money behind, if 464 like 4K behind and then Make Boyfriend bets like 800 and he check shoves, it's a pretty sweet play.
Yeah, definitely.
But with so much money behind, by the time you get the money in, you're gonna be behind. I mean, you're gonna be crushed quite a bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, definitely interesting here. If it does do a delay check raise, yeah, 6-4 specifically, I think yeah, it'd be probably a bit of an overplay here this deep to go for the delay check raise. So yeah, I would expect more like a set here if it delay check raises.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Like, what do you think about like 464's flop check raising range? Do you think like it's still going pretty light here, or do you think it's tightening up because of the sizing?
Bit of both. So he's going to tighten up a little bit because Make Boyfriend's just saying I've got a stronger hand than the average reg does.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's not like he's got the nuts or nothing on this board, right? So
yeah,
but he's 464 is kind of 4s and 6s, and Queen 6, Queen 4. He's gonna have hands like 7-5, 5-3, other straight draws, King Queen. Maybe he could even have Ace Queen. They're kind of deep, so maybe he calls Ace Queen sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. Or he could even just be check raising him like like Queen 5 or like Queen Jack, right? And then just check the turn.
Definitely, yeah. Let's see. Let's see if this hand gets interesting.
Check. So the 5 does improve 464's range somewhat, as in hands like 6-5 or hands like 8-7 get there. 3 deuce I guess gets there. So 7-3 gets there. So 464 gets to be, somewhat aggressive here.
I mean, I guess he should not be that aggressive overall because most of his range, I assume, would be give ups once he just checks the turn. Since it's like not the most terrible. Boom. Okay. It's not the most terrible. Yeah. Wow. Sick. Nice.
Okay.
Nice hand.
So let's go back a little bit. So 464 overbets the river. So he's probably saying he's got a set or better.
Yeah. He's kind of like saying, okay, I was trying to trap you on the turn, or like I somehow got there on the river.
Maybe he makes a thin value bet with a hand like Queen 5, right? But even a hand like 6-5, could he be value betting for that size? Maybe, but
probably
he could be, but it is pretty light. And then Make Boyfriend goes all in eventually.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he checked back 8-7, right? So he's got 8-7 suited always to open raise the button with. And then he will, sometimes bet the flop and, check behind after the check raise. So he can have 8-7 sometimes. 3 deuce, 7-3. Probably doesn't open those on the button. So he's representing mostly 8-7. Does he even shove in like pocket 5s? I don't think so, right? So does he shove pocket queens?
Yeah. I mean,
maybe. Probably not even. So
if he shows up with a bluff here, if Make Boyfriend is bluffing here, he gets quite a bit of respect from me.
Yeah. All right, let's see if he does get respect.
Yeah, I'm curious. Let's see. I mean, you will see it before me. So 8-9, nice.
So
just free. Make
Boyfriend doesn't rep a whole lot, right? He's representing a straight or maybe a hand like pocket queens. So
yeah.
With the deuce 3 suited, 464 is thinking, well, he's representing like 4 or 5 combos as for value, so he's not always gonna play him this way, right? Maybe he just like bets a turn or something. So he doesn't represent a whole lot, so I'm not gonna fold a straight. I can still be folding my bluffs. I could still fold a hand like, pocket fours that I was strapping with.
Yeah.
If I fold a straight here, one of the very few straights I've got, then I'm just folding almost everything. So I'm not gonna fold this against somebody whom I think is capable of bluffing here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think on the river he should not fold. It is a bluff catcher, right? Because Make Boyfriend probably doesn't have 7-3 or deuce 3, so he's representing. I mean, so it is a bluff catcher. Maybe he beats queens.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Maybe he beats pocket fives, but probably not. So I think he cannot fold against a capable player. There's a couple of regs against whom you can fold, but not Make Boyfriend. So I'll give.
I like it. I mean, strong play by Make Boyfriend. I mean, also with the loose-ish float on the flop against the bigger check raise.
Yeah. So Make Boyfriend's play is quite aggressive, but sometimes you do have to be aggressive. If you make these play every time, then it's just pretty easy for 4-6-4 to click call, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give Make Boyfriend an 8 out of 10, and I'll give 4-6-4. I'll also give him an 8 out of 10. What do you think? I think you're gonna rate him. I think you're gonna give him better than an 8.
Okay, so 4-6-4's play. I would give him like 7.5 out of 10. I don't agree much with his reverse sizing. Okay, and Make Boyfriend, I do like to give him credit for this line. I think it's a pretty sweet line for him to like play it like definitely not the standard line by him, like not like a standard line. Like if you guys see this line, and if you guys are 4-6-4 and you see this line in your games, just never call basically. But so he was creative enough to like, okay, floating the flop like a bit loose, but I guess it's fine. Then checking back the turn with the is it like a double gutter? No, wait, is it no? It's a gotcha. My poker skills are amazing. So he does check back and then like shoves over and over bet. So I do like that. It's like he gets a solid 9.34 from me.
9.34. Wow. That's pretty liberal. I thought like max with 9.29.
Yeah, I mean I like people who kind of like find creative bluffs in spots where nobody bluffs at lower stakes.
Sure. But guys, this is 25-50, right? So you do see some of the better players in the world here. So, folding deuce 3 suited is definitely exploitable. So, but it was a sweet hand. Pretty interesting. What do you guys think? In this hand, we got Born to Tilt from Belarus and Bolek from Poland and Make Boyfriend from Finland. Gambling.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Bolek actually, by the way, like he was playing. Okay, so he's now playing high stakes and reg gaming. So apparently he has been getting quite a bit better, I guess, since he's reg gaming here, or he's just gambling. But yeah, he was playing 1K for a long time. I was playing him at 1K for quite some time. So I guess he just ran good, moved up, strong player. Okay.
He's a good player for sure.
Okay. What about? I'm curious. Like Board to Tilt. Okay, I'll tell you my read on him. And you tell me if I'm right or not. What I think about him. I don't know why or whatever. But okay, so I think Board to Tilt is like an old school player who like he's more like a freestyler. He did not put in that much time in the lab, and his strategies are like kind of like old school. He's like basically a more old school player. I don't think he has like strong theoretical fundamentals, and I guess he would not do that well in like a strong lineup. Because of like being more old school and having more like kind of just like old school strategies. What do you think about this read I have?
He used to be like that for sure, but he's improved a decent amount since then.
Okay.
So he used to be like Stefan, just like, full pot or nothing. Just only just blasting it, but he's become a little bit more sophisticated, but he's still like, he's an old school guy. He's a guy who loves to battle for sure.
Okay, exactly. So more like, exactly. More like love for the battle than, I have a big edge on these guys.
Yeah, but he's a good player for sure, so I don't like having him on my table. I still remember he played Turner's heads up, 2 tables at 3-6, and like the day after he played 20k 3-handed against Linus in OTB. It's like, going from 3-6 to 100-200. That was quite ambitious, but no, he's a great player. He's also a really nice guy, so
Okay.
You know, do I think I can beat him? Yeah, I think I can beat him. Do I want him at my table?
Cool.
Born to tilt. Do I want Born to
Yeah.
tilt at my table? No, right?
Yeah.
I want bad players at my table. Bad players with a lot of money. I don't want regs at my table, especially not Eastern European regs. So yeah. Also, shout out to Born to tilt. He's a very cool guy.
Yeah. No, yeah, he did seem like a cool guy, but I was just curious. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Anyway, my boyfriend doesn't respect the cool guy raise, and he makes it a 525 in a small blind. Then Bolek folds.
Yeah.
Call by Born to tilt. So King 10-5 is a pretty dry board, which favors Make Boyfriend. You know, Make Boyfriend likely has kings and tens always, pocket fives maybe, ace king, all that type of stuff. And Born to Tilt will also have some of these hands, right? Like he'll probably have fives and tens, but not kings. He might have ace kings sometimes. So, you know, the board is also pretty dry and disconnected. So Make Boyfriend can be quite aggressive on this board.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely looking for some betting from Make Boyfriend here.
So because Make Boyfriend is going to bet a lot, and he bets quite small, Born to Tilt will respond by calling aggressively, even doing some raising perhaps.
Yep. Does call. I guess we mostly expect him to call here. Not a lot of raising on this board. Boom, the king.
So Born to Tilt bets quite small, so he's saying my range is not just a king or better. I could be betting more thinly to just, you know, try and get you off your air, try and make you call with a lighter hand, like maybe ace queen or a hand like pocket nines. So whereas if you bet more like 1k plus, he's saying I've got a king or better, right?
Yeah, interesting bet on this king. I guess like he's kind of like, yeah, interesting sizing. Guess you can get away with it. I guess it's a good sizing, especially for like to use it in position. So yeah, actually that's good. I think like especially a bit if you think about it a bit more like even like a bit more exploitatively than theoretically makes it even better exploitative wise. So I like it because you're kind of forcing him to put in some check raises here, and many people maybe don't have their checking range structured in such a way. So yeah, okay, too much strat talk. Yeah, so he check out.
Okay, so the 9 river improves Born to Tilt a decent amount because he's, you know, Queen Jack gets there. When he bets so small, it's possible that he bets 9s on the turn. Though, because he bets so small, Make Boyfriend may have 9s himself. So what are his bluffs? His bluffs could be something like some under pairs, maybe turns a 5 into a bluff. You know, maybe he bluffs in like ace jack or ace queen sometimes. Or he has in like jack 9, doesn't think it's good enough to show down, and just turns that into a bluff. Let's see.
Yeah, another interesting spot for like not that many bluffs, not that many obvious bluffs, right? So definitely curious to see what he shows up with here. Okay, check call.
So Make Boyfriend is thinking, I block pocket tens, I block king queen, I block queen jack, right? And maybe Born to Tilt is bluffing with hand like ace jack or, you know, pocket threes, stuff like that, or pocket sixes. And Born to Tilt just bets small on the turn, saying he's betting quite wide, and like he doesn't mind having Make Boyfriend check raise or check call, right? Because I mean he needs no protection. He's got the hand basically. You know, he's basically got the hand locked down.
Yeah, he has the streets on lock. Okay, yeah, and yeah, I guess Make Boyfriend. Yeah, I guess it makes sense for him to call this against a capable player. Again, tough run out. I mean, you could argue like is Born to Tilt gonna stab ace jack, ace queen on the turn that often? Maybe not. Right, like maybe he stabs more, like more like the queen jacks, the jack nines, right? But then, oh shit, like this river is kind of bad if he just mostly stabs those ones, and maybe like some low pairs. But then again, do you really see people that much like turning up with sixes here? Not that much. So yeah, I mean it's not the best spot to bluff catch, I guess.
Well, that's really again the difference between higher stakes and lower stakes, right? The fact that people here will show up with like a hand like 5-4 suited or a hand like pocket fours or pocket sixes. Whereas at lower stakes, people just never do. Or some people will turn a hand like ace queen into a bluff, which doesn't happen so often because on the turn, you know, there's quite a bit of value in checking back ace queen, but you know you got to do it sometimes. So on a run out like this, you got actually the perfect bluff.
Exactly.
So yeah, you'll see that in a lot of these spots where you need to be a bit creative, the high stakes players do often find bluffs. like in the previous 9-8 hand. Whereas lower stakes players, they just, they only show up with the most obvious hands, and then you'll say, well, I mean, the straight got there, the king is still good enough to bet. Like, what is this guy bluffing with?
Yeah, exactly. So at lower stakes, I would definitely not make this call, like this make boyfriend call. So yeah, like we see in a lot of these high stakes hands, it's like, yeah, we can basically see kind of like some of the differences from high stakes and low stakes, like lower stakes basically, in the level of play and kind of like the adjustments you have to make.
Yep, sure. All right, so let's rate their plays. I'll give Born to Tilt I'll give him a 9 out of 10. And I'll give Make Boyfriend I'll give him an 8 out of 10. So Make Boyfriend did a good job realizing that his hand is pretty good to call with, right? Like, Born to Tilt will always bet a hand like King Queen this way. He will bet a hand like tens this way. He will bet a hand like Queen Jack this way. And Make Boyfriend does a good job blocking all of those hands.
Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, I guess Make Boyfriend's call. I guess this is one of the better blockers you can be calling. Do you think Born to Tilt has tens pre-flop?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So yeah, then it does make it a pretty good bluff catch overall. So yeah, I would say like solid 8 by Make Boyfriend, and yeah, Born to Tilt with a nice 1/3 bet there. Yeah, I guess 9. Yeah, 9 out of 10 is good.
All right, nice.